Hey, what y'all cooking over there? Over here, I'm making like my second to third favorite thing to make, gumbo. I like it because it takes forever. If you do it right, it takes a couple of days. As a matter of fact, I started it. Yeah, I did. I started a couple of days ago with the roux, and then I've had the roux. I've had the roux sit in the refrigerator for me to use for the gumbo for today. And so, what we're gonna start with the broth. And gumbo is really simple to make. You just gotta know what you're doing. We got some. Got leg quarter, basically half a chicken right here. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make the broth with that chicken. And then once it's done cooking, we're gonna pull the meat apart off the bones and and mix it in with the gumbo and just throw the bones away. So, got some water boiling, well simmering. Got it simmering. Everything has to simmer. You really don't, you do not want to boil anything when you're doing your gumbo. You don't want your water or your roux to be cooking very fast, and you don't want it to be too hot. You really do want to take your time with it. So, we're going to go ahead and place our chicken in here. Got a quota, a wing, got another wing, and the breastises. Alright. Then we're going to have a couple of tablespoons of oil. Some garlic, a couple of cloves of garlic. Some celery, a couple of celery sticks. We got half a red onion. And these are jalapeno and serrano peppers. And just a little salt. And a little pepper. And bam, that's it. We're going to put a lid on it. Have it slow cooking. Have it cooking for a few hours. Maybe we'll come back and check it in an hour and see. You really just want to cook it until the chicken is really done and falling all apart. Oh snap, one more thing. I didn't forget. Some corn on the cob. And that's not frozen corn either. That's fresh out the produce. Had to shuck it and everything. All right, so we're going to come back in about an hour and see how this broth is going. All righty. It's been an hour, so the chicken should be done. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the chicken out so that we can get the meat off the bones. I've seen some people leave like wings and legs in their gumbo before. I particularly don't like that, but to each his own. And so we're going to keep this boiling because we're going to add our shrimp to it, and it's been peeled, deveined, deboned, and washed. Add the shrimp. Oops, missed one. And then we're going to add some more seasoning. We're going to add paprika. And we're going to add chili powder. I really don't do Cajun seasonings, or by the bottle of the Cajun seasoning, because everything that's in there, you basically have it in your cabinet anyway. And then some red cayenne pepper. If it'll come out, Lord. And that's good. And then we're going to add the sausage. And this is andouille smoked sausage. Alrighty. So we're going to put the lid back on this. And then while this is going, we're going to get the meat off the chicken. Remember I told y'all I like to play with my food? This is another reason why I like to make gumbo. Because I get to play with the chicken. So what I'm doing, I'm just getting the meat off the bones. And even keeping some of the skin on, keeping it in there. Because it still has a little flavor. It still has flavor, so let's keep it. It'll be alright. I just took this. It's funny, I just took this out the pot. It really ain't that hot. Or maybe my fingers are just. Because that's one thing about me. I cook with my hands. So there's been plenty of times where I've had, where it felt like I burnt my fingertips off. Because I reach in the grease in the water, does not matter, even if it's hot. If I need to hurry up and grab something, I'm going to grab it. There we go. Now the bones I do save because I give them to my dog. She be tearing them up. But no, not really, because I need to kind of shred it. And so you just sit there and just pull it apart and mix it all up. Now, when you do gumbo, with the chicken, you want to have white meat and dark meat in it, because you get two different flavors. You get multiple flavors. Now, this breast is hot. But for some reason, the leg and the thigh and the wing really wasn't that hot pulling it apart. And another thing you can add to your gumbo, you can add, what's the word I'm looking for? Crab legs. I'm not adding crab legs into this one because I just ain't got it like that this month. But you can add crab legs. Really, I really do believe it's to each his own. It's like a lasagna. You add in there whatever you want to add in there. And sometimes I put crab legs in mine. And one thing someone had told me is that the flavor is not in the legs, it's actually in the joint part of the crab leg. I never knew that. Now, when we get done with this, we're just gonna throw it back in the water with the shrimp and the sausage and just let it keep on cooking. Let me switch hands, Lord. I had told my friend I was making gumbo, and like 30 minutes later, he was like, "Is it done?" I'm like, "I ain't even. I just finished cutting the vegetables. I ain't nowhere near being done." Now I make my own roux also. I really most of the stuff that I do, I try to make it from scratch on my own. It tends to be cheaper and it lasts a bit longer. And if you ask me, it tastes a whole lot better when you make it yourself. The skin that was on the breast. I wonder who is that outside. I'm sorry, y'all. I got caught up in my mind. I'm hearing doors slamming outside, like car doors. And I'm like, who could that be? Who's there peeping at my window? Oh, that looks so good. All right, so I got the chicken in there. See? So we're gonna, the heat is still on low. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna let it sit for another hour or two, and then we're gonna add the roux. We're gonna let that sit, put a lid on it, and bam. All right, it's been a little bit over an hour. Let's go ahead and check it. Got the house smelling good. There we go. Now we're finna add the roux. Now the roux is a thickening, I don't even know what to call it. It thickens up what you got going on right here. Let's just say that. Now to make roux, and this is the roux I made a few days ago. I'm trying to put a video up there so you can know how to make it. But in the roux, it's oil, flour, and I put tomatoes and carrots, red, green, yellow bell peppers, and salt and pepper, and a few other seasonings, and onions. And so what we're going to do is just pour it in the gumbo. The roux is basically like a gravy, except that in gravy you add milk to it, but in the roux you don't add milk. Here we go. Add a little bit more. I'm gonna add one more jar in it. You need to be careful. I always wanted to buy a big old pot, for when I make gumbo and greens and stuff, I don't like how they do on the stove top. Sometimes they'll be sticking at the bottom of it, and I probably have to spend a pretty penny for it. Just stir that in there. And then what we're going to do is, even though the fire or the heat is low, like a little bit above low, we're going to put it on low. So turn it down all the way to low. Then we're going to put a lid on it and just let it simmer and let it cook just a little while longer. Let's taste it though. Taste a little bit of it. Oh, that's good. Ooh. Oh, that's good. And it's spicy just like I like it. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that is spicy. So if you sick, definitely make this. This will clear your sinuses. All right. So we're going to let this sit for a little while longer. I would say leave it sitting there for another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And you're done. And you can serve it on a bed of rice or just serve it, just like that. I'm not going to make any rice because I need a nap after this. But that's how you make gumbo. That's it. Just let it sit there. Break that up. Give you that. You can see the seasonings and all that in there. Look at that. That is beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? Sexy. All right, and there's your gumbo.